Silence in the studio. Good afternoon, Lagos. Good afternoon to you from wherever it is you are watching the show or today. Welcome to Mind Your Character with Bossede Olusola-Obasa. Yes, I'm not Bossede Olusola-Obasa for your information. My name is Dorcas and I'm going to be your anchor today. I'll be taking you through 30 minutes of value, 30 minutes of amazing conversation here. Join us as we take you on a ride. Today with me on the show is a fine man. I know you can see him already. Yes, but I'm going to be introducing my guest, Victor Amechi. Welcome to Mind Your Character.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's so nice to be back on the show as a guest.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for having me and welcome to Mind Your Character. I hope your day has been fine and your week has been as productive as you planned it out to be so far. This is going to be the best 30 minutes of your weekend, trust me. So welcome to Mind Your Character once again from my end.
Yes, so Victor has already welcomed you to the weekend. And it's just 12 noon on Friday. Well, for some, they're happy that it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Weekend starts from Friday. So yes, how has your week been? My week was amazing. I really enjoyed it, even though I was tired in between. But I mean, there's no week without activities.
Yeah, there is no week without activity.
You just have to keep going. So welcome to the show. On this show, we discuss very topical issues and we accompany you as you either eat your lunch or enjoy yourself. I don't know how you spend your lunch hour at work. I know some of you might be in the office while some are working from home. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today, the conversation we're going to be having today, when my colleague here, Victor, when he heard about the fact that the ASUU strike had been called off, he got really emotional.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're wondering, was he crying? He's going to tell us.
I wasn't crying.
You didn't cry?
I didn't cry. I just felt like the strike shouldn't have been called off now. Like, we should have just left it to maybe next year.
Wow.
That's how I felt.
Next year?
Yes, maybe next year, January. We should just start afresh. So when the strike was called off, I wasn't expecting it to be called off at this point because of course it had taken too long already and in a way I had become quite relaxed and forgotten I was a student. So when the strike was called off, I was like, here we go again. And I wasn't prepared for the strike to be called off when it was called off. But it's a good thing anyway. We can go back to school, finish up the semester and move on to another level. So that's a big step. That's a big step, a good step in the right direction, even though we do not know how long it's going to take for them to go back to striking. But for now, we can only be grateful for the fact that school is resuming and academics activities will soon kick off.
Yeah.
From where it took a course.
All right, so thank you for that. Though he is already jumping the gun, he's already entering the main reason why we're here. But not to worry about that. Today we are basically going to be reliving memories of the 8-month strike that was called off during the week by ASUU. We are going to be hearing opinions from, of course, Victor, who is a current undergraduate of the University of Benin, and also another intern at RCV. Her name is AK Mini-Joliapan. You might have seen her on the show once. No, not once actually. More than twice, yes. So she's not here at the moment, but we have some things from her for you. So you have to stay tuned. Do not change that dial. Don't follow pop-ups. Stay with us this afternoon as we take you on an amazing journey. So to open the show today, we have quotes for you. Yes, we have 2 strong quotes for you, and the first one is by Ellen Nordegren, I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, but yes, Ellen Nordegren, and it says education is one thing no one can take away from you.
That's
Education is one thing no one can take away from you. So in case you are watching this show and you have the mindset or you have the opinion that why do I even need to go to school? I still hear some people say that, why do I need to go back to school? Why do I need education? I don't need it. Some people have blown and they didn't go to school. Education is not restricted to the four walls of the school, university, whatever level. So I'm going to let Victor take the second quote as we progress.
So the second quote is from Malala Yousafzai. She says, "They cannot stop me. I will get my education. If it is in the home, school, or any place, they cannot stop me. I will get my education. If it is in the home, in the school, or any place." She sounds like somebody who is very determined. And I like determination in her voice. Like
exactly. There's no stopping me.
There's no stopping me. It sounds like something we'd always say at RCB.
Yes, there's no stopping us.
And here she's just reiterating the fact that nothing can stop her from being educated. She's gonna go all out to make sure she gets the education that she desires at whatever level she wants it to be.
Yes. So as we move to the main chart, we're going to be reading out some statistics, some articles for you to listen to, and I'll be starting with a question. How the students feel about the ASUU strike, like the initial
reaction
period? Yes, what was the initial? I'll start from Victor because you'll be on the spot a lot today because you're my guest on today's show. So how did you feel initially?
Okay, how did I feel initially? I remember the strike was the strike started on the 14th of February. Yeah, 14th of February. It was Valentine's Day. They served us breakfast.
Interesting. Hot breakfast.
So, and it's quite interesting that they didn't make a decision to call off the strike until 14th of October. So
wow,
they were very intentional about the 8-month period. Those people. So the initial reaction was okay. I felt okay. Our lecturer initially had been saying that there's going to be a strike, and he was boasting about the fact that he has saved up. That every year he saves 1 million naira.
Seriously?
Yes, saves 1 million naira for the strike. That he just knows that one time at one point in time there will always be a strike.
Wow.
So he has already saved up 1 million naira for himself and his family, so that hunger will not kill them during the strike.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And then I had gone to school that day, and then we just went in and lectures just stopped. No lecturer showed up, and then we later got the news started filtering that we had gone on strike. My initial reaction was like, okay, I hope the time did a warning strike. So I was like, okay, it's a warning strike. Let's see what the next 1 month holds. I wasn't particularly happy. I wasn't happy about the strike, obviously, and I wasn't sad about the strike per se because I just fresher. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and I was just hoping that the strike would be called off soon. So I decided I was gonna stay in school for a full month after, and then I did stay. It was actually one of the worst 30 days of my life.
Wow.
Because
please let us know
I would be in school, nothing to do. Initially I was meeting up with friends who would study and read together, but at one point in time the motivation to just read just died.
Motivation off.
Because obviously I was reading, and you know there's this feeling that you are reading preparing for an exam that is going to come, and then there's what you are reading and wondering if the exam is ever going to come. So I was just there, just trying to get used to just waking up, carry my books, read, sleep, watch a few videos, learn something, and that was it. 2 months later, there was no headway. The strike was extended by 2 months, making it 3 months, and I was like, well, it's time for me to go back to my father's house. It's not as if I ran out of the house. So I packed up my bags and I came back home. And when I was coming back, I just knew, okay, I definitely will not be at home just sitting, waking up, eating, and
before you go there. Yes.
So that was how I felt initially at the strike. I was just in between. I wasn't sad, nor was I happy.
So you were indifferent.
Yes, I was indifferent about it.
All right. So according to some feedbacks we got, some students felt betrayed, some felt bothered that their education meant very little or nothing to the government, and some even felt like, oh, okay, you gave up to the hope that we are the leaders of tomorrow, our future is safe, all of that, and then you take that hope and you decided to just smash it on the floor. That is really sad, really sad. So moving to the next phase of our conversation today, how did students cope with the strike? We've gone through, Victor has relived his experience, his first reaction when he heard about the strike. Then we move to how did you cope during the strike. Before we talk about you, just read some of the feedbacks we have.
Okay, it says here that how the students cope with the strike.
Yes.
Students got jobs, some got remote jobs, some got internships. Some students tied the knot. They found the love of their life and then they got married.
Yes, happy married life.
I love love. It's a beautiful thing to be in love and to get married.
Yes.
So it also says here that some decided to start a business of their own. Some started a business.
There was actually a lot of that.
Yeah,
there was a lot. Yes.
You just wake up one morning and you just see your WhatsApp status. Come and order. Come and buy something from me.
Which I think is good. It brought out the entrepreneurial skill.
It's good, but yeah, it makes some people that didn't have the business flair just. So what am I doing with my life now? Everybody is selling, so maybe me I should start selling hot water. But it was nice. Some decided to stay at home and discover more things about themselves. Some traveled out to chill. The ballers. The ballers decided to go out to chill. Some transferred to either private unis or out of the countries. And some protested. Oh, my school protested.
So
students of my school protested.
I don't want to be shouting in the bed,
but I just knew that the protest was never going to lead to anything because, of course, in first semester they had protested about an increase in school fees, and it was resolved. And then something gave them this courage that doing this protest again would lead to a faster resolution. I just know this one. They are also wasting their time because now it is not about It is not about the university itself. It's a body. So the protest, they tried,
were you in support? Were you in support? Like
in support of the protest?
Yes, support of the protest.
I'm not a protest person. I'm not a protester. So you would hardly find me at a protest ground. But they did it based on the fact that it was something that was important to them, which is good because it is also important to me. But I just knew that there was never going to be a headway coming out of it, so there was no point in joining the protest. I had already gone back to Lagos. I was back in Lagos already when the protest started. And even if I wasn't back to Lagos, I wouldn't have joined the protest.
Wow.
So some people protested and it was fruitless, sorry to say.
So there's an article he's going to be reading now, and it was called from Premium Times. So let's have the article.
So Premium Times says here that talk of the violent taking it by force. That is what Nigerian students have been doing these past few weeks. They have taken their destinies into their own hands. Tired of whiling away their lives at home due to unending impasse between their lecturers and the federal government. These students, under the aegis of the National Association of Nigerian Students, have hit the streets, unleashing untold hardship on road users that cross their paths. They started on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway before moving to the Ile-Ife/Oyo axis, blocking movement for many interstate travelers. So the article was called from the Premium Times, Olabisi Deji Folutile,
yes.
In September 2022. So
Right.
that was actually the main aim of the protest, to express their view, express their anger, express their disappointment in the government, and also make others understand that we are not in this alone. You guys should not be comfortable that students are at home. At least you should take small out of our own problem and feel it a bit. So they made a lot of people uncomfortable with the protest, the traffic, and the rest of them. But gala sellers still sold.
All right. So moving on, I'm going to be reading from AK Mini Joliapan. I'm going to be reading her opinion, how she felt during the 8-month ASUU strike. AK Mini said, and I read, I felt delayed during the 8 months. I felt really delayed. I felt my academic journey was being put on hold because of the strike and all the things that came with it. Like 2 to 3 semesters were already gone, and now my set will have to spend an extra year because of this unfair issue. I had a plan to graduate by 2025, but the strike just jeopardized my plans, and I felt really held back. Like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen now? At a point, I felt useless in a way because I wasn't doing anything at that time. It was really a sad time for me,
And
but that was because before she joined us at RC.
I think I can actually relate to what she was saying, or to what she's saying here. When the strike started, everybody were like encouraging a lot of people, go and learn a skill,
yes.
go and do something, don't just sit at home, go and intern, volunteer somewhere, learn a skill, learn a digital skill, be a tech bro, be a texis, do 1 or 2 things, learn makeup, learn fashion designing, be a photographer, and all that. While that is good advice, it is actually it actually does not make up for the feeling of stagnancy that you feel, because you just feel like, okay, school is on strike, my mates are going to school, and you already have a plan of when you want to finish school, and then suddenly school goes on strike, and then people are telling you, go learn a skill, go do this, go do that. That was not the initial plan to begin with. It was not the initial plan to begin with. And then, yes, it's good to learn a skill, it's good to go intern somewhere. I did internship all through the month of the strike with RCV. I was also privileged to get a scholarship to learn a digital skill, so it's
nice.
A good thing.
That's
it's
an
actually
advantage.
A good thing. It's an advantage,
yes.
But it does not make up for this feeling of stagnancy that you feel, knowing that your mates are already making progress academically, and then you are just stuck somewhere. Before you gained admission, you were so excited. Oh, I've gained admission. And for somebody like me,
did you even get to do your matriculation?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And for somebody like me who had stayed home like 3 years before I gained admission, now you already feel like, okay, I'm behind time for the plan that I have. I'm behind time already. And then you get into school excited, you just want to finish everything, go for a higher degree and all that, and then the strike happens. At that point, you're like, okay, so what's the essence of all these things now? As somebody who's telling you, go and learn a skill, You're like, I'm learning a skill, but it still does not compensate for how I feel. So many people just feel like once you learn a skill, you start going out, everything will be working out fine. It still does not tell the whole story. Learning a skill is fine. It's actually a very, very good thing to do with your time while you are on strike. But there's still this feeling of there's still something that you want completed that is not there. So I'm just.
Victor is really venting. Like,
no, I'm not venting.
He is expressing himself.
Letting you know how.
If you are in this studio right now, you can feel his energy.
Myself and other ASUU victims felt during the strike. So learning a skill was okay, but it does not compensate for the stagnancy that we felt at that point academically. Because right now I'm supposed to be in 200 level, wrapping up first semester, if I'm not mistaken. First semester should have ended. First semester should have ended at least. Yes, we should have ended first semester by this time. But here we are, going back to.
Here we are, grateful for life.
Yes, grateful for life.
Yes.
And we move anyway. That's how they say it.
We move. Yes. So, Eke Mini, I'm going to be reading an answer to the second question, which is, what went through your mind when it was suddenly called off? What went through your mind? Eke Mini says, honestly, I was really sad about it. I'm not happy with the sudden resumption. If I were to give a ratio of 70% to 30% on how I felt, 30% of me was happy that we'll be resuming, and 70 wasn't, because when someone goes on for a long time, you become comfortable and used to it. So when it suddenly stops, you become shocked. The strike was going on for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, until the 8th month, and suddenly it was called off for real. After all the so-called meetings that didn't end well in the past, I didn't expect them. So all of that, she's been expressive that she's really shocked and sad. She didn't like the fact that when she had already started balancing, finding a balance.
Yes.
At okay, maybe she learned a new skill, she's interning with us, all of that. They just said, okay, oh, everybody should start coming back to school. And I mean, some people are resuming to write exams.
Yeah, some people are resuming to write exams. I can't remember which school it was. No, I'm not. I can't remember which school it was. I think they started the first day of resumption. They started their exams that Wednesday.
Wow.
I can't remember the name of the school right now. But I can relate totally to what Ekimini is saying, because during the period of the strike, you were advised to go learn a skill, go intern somewhere, go volunteer, get some certificates, and the rest of them. Now, you have been able to find the balance, trying to put all those things together. And for 8 months, your life has been consistently moving forward in a good way. Now, I'm not saying ASUU calling off their strike is going to throw your life into a bad way. But then the pressure now comes suddenly. School is going to be starting, and we all know that it's just a 6-week window to attend lectures, read, write an exam, and then take a 1-week break or 10 days break, and then you come back.
The pressure is getting
and then you come back for another semester, do the same thing for about 2 months, 3 months max. So all those things coming together now, and you are trying to find the balance. Okay, this skill that I've learned now, do I just suddenly drop it and focus on the academics? Or this my academics now, do I just suddenly drop it and focus on the skill?
Actually, I've heard some people say they are not resuming.
Or how do I balance both of them? For me, I'm still taking my course on the scholarship I won. Now, I have to find a way to balance both of them. Now, if I can't balance both of them, that would have to be delayed for a later time. I'm currently working on a project for a company abroad, trying to curate content for them. Now, that is another one part of my life that I'm trying to balance into. Now,
Victor is sweating.
You now have to look at that, and then you have to. How do you balance all this stuff? It's crazy because me too. I'm not happy, like totally happy. I want to resume school. But the thought of trying to balance all these things, you just have to now give priority. Okay, the education is the priority, and skill will come later. So right now you just have to focus, read, and pass. So it's no longer about going to school to enjoy going to school. It's now about going to school to put your head down and read and pass. You have to shut off a lot of things that you have become so used to, comfortable doing, and all that. So it's a lot for every student that is going to be resuming to school, and that not even talk of the financial pressure that will also come in, because the price of things in February is not the same price of things now in October, and we are heading towards December. So it's a whole lot of things.
You said you'll be writing your exams on Christmas.
Yes, we'll be writing our exams a day to Christmas Day. So technically I'll be missing Christmas with my family for the first time since I was born. So it's a whole lot. It's good experience, and just trying to balance things up. But at the end of the day, God will work it out. We shall come out of it better.
I love the concluding part, and that's the part I'm going to be taking. God is definitely going to work it out. In case you're in Victor's shoes at the moment, please be encouraged.
Yes, be encouraged.
Be grateful.
Be encouraged.
That school has resumed.
Be grateful. Be happy that school
that school has resumed. Because I mean, you don't want that part of your life to be on hold forever.
Yeah.
You really have to go through
it. It's something you should do.
Yes.
And don't try to entertain the thought of just dropping out.
No.
I know people used to say that school is a scam in Nigeria.
Yes, people say that a lot.
My pastor would always say something. He would always say that it's better for you to have something and not need it, than for you to need something and not have it. So your education is your certificate is something you should have. So people are like, so after the certificate, now what will
you do?
Just have it first. Have it first. Don't drop out.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you really for that, Victor.
Thank you.
I really love the fact that you're on the show today. I mean, I can feel the Victor was sweating. Wow, did you catch the sweat on his face?
What can I say?
Oh, so any advice to the government, Victor?
Advice to the government. I think the government, I believe the government should always back up their, you know, when the word, the what, how do they used to say that to say? The young people are the leaders of tomorrow.
Oh yes,
It has now become a cliche that is very hard to believe. In fact, when people say that now, they're like, future of tomorrow.
The future is now.
The future is now.
Come. Yes.
But now we are not even leaders of anything.
Now.
So, what advice do I have to give to the government? The government should place a better priority on our educational system. This ASUU thing has been going on before I was born.
Yes, actually.
Before I was born, and it will probably continue even after I die.
God forbid.
Hopefully it doesn't. But it's a stain on the fact that something that has been happening for a long time is still happening till now. It's not a good record for a nation to have. And it just shows you how much priority we place on our educational system. It's not like we do not have people who are competent to teach the students.
Yes.
It's just like we just do not have a conducive environment that would accommodate everybody. So beyond the strikes, even when you resume school, you just go to school and then the environment is not fine. The buildings are fine, but the inside the building is not. It's discouraging. And let's just place more priority on our educational system. It will do us a whole lot of good, other than the things that we are just chasing around upon her. Because right now there's a whole there's a lot of brain drain going happening in the country right now. A lot of people are leaving the country just to get better education.
Yes.
And when they do that and they go to another man's land, they do that, they get comfortable there. It is where they end the education from that they will most likely use it in.
Yeah.
So they will not particularly be excited about coming back home, because of course they've gotten used to that place. A better offer for education is there, a more conducive environment is there, and these ones actually have the leaders, the young people are actually the leaders of tomorrow. Go there.
What do you mean?
So
do you mean
not
young
like,
people are not leading in Nigeria?
It's not like a cliche that they will say.
Victor.
So young people will be the leaders of Nigeria.
Young people are doing amazingly well.
Yes, we are doing amazingly well.
Yes.
Actually, we are.
Yes.
Because despite all the struggles and everything,
we are still
trying to
yes.
to make something good out of our lives. But if you look at it, it's not comparable. That's why
there's no balance.
A lot of people will live here to go to another country to go study. At least I know people who have already left to go study abroad, and they are doing very fine. They are doing well, even though they will still have to adjust a bit. But in the long run, they are doing themselves a whole lot of good.
Please, for everyone that is traveling abroad, always have your plan.
So always have your plan. Yes. Always have your plan. Don't just wake up one morning and just jackpot. Don't do that.
I'm out.
It's not gonna end well. Don't do that. I always tell people that you love, that you want to go.
They will just wake up the next morning and see your picture.
That you are better playing. And you don't tell them from Lagos to Toronto. From where now? So tell them, so that when you feel lonely, you can always text them and there will be no resentment. But that's just by the way. The government should actually place better priority on education here in Nigeria. The future is bright for us, especially when we can invest in the people that we have, and we don't offer them a free opportunity to just run away because the things that they are looking for are not present here. Yes, the grass is not always greener on the other side, but you can make it green on your own side. So
wow,
that's just my advice.
I'm sure you would agree with me that the show today has been hot and phenomenal. Thank you for sticking with us. So as we wrap up, I would also like to say this to any Nigerian government official watching, that you should please try to be empathetic. You should be a leader that empathizes with followers, anyone around you, especially the Nigerian students. I mean, it is not easy. you could hear Victor's encounters, all the things he had to say. So please be empathetic as you lead whatever constituency, whatever it is you have to do. Contribute your quota rightly, and I'm sure Nigeria will turn out really great.
Really turn out great.
So as we wrap up today, We have been at Red Eye Studios. Red Eye Studio is your one-stop shop for any media service. In case you want to have a photo shoot, they offer photography services, videography. They can cover your events. They can record live as we are doing now. In case you love what you see in the studio, just hit them up on 090 6969 6248. I'll take that again, 090 6969 6248. And we are Team RCV. Victor, what does RCV stand for? Somebody asked me last week.
RCV stands for First Royal Character and Values Limited.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we offer training services. In case you want to train your organization, you want to train your staff members, customer service training, professionalism at the workplace, that makes your staff or your team exceptional, just hit us up 0612 0819 0612 You can follow us on social media at RCV Character, Instagram, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. If this has been helpful to you, please like, comment, and share with your friends to watch even while we are offline. So any parting shots from you, Victor?
Any parting shots?
Yes.
Okay, my parting shot would be to every Nigerian student who, like me, will be resuming school soon. It's important that we get our certificates. It's important that we go to school, and there are so many benefits aside from the certificates that going to school offers you. The exposure, people you get to meet, the things that you get to learn, the experiences you get to have, the leadership positions that you get to have, and people you get to work with. There are so many things that going to school offers you, and just find a way to balance things up. Find a way to balance things up. But at the moment, also understand that priority at the moment. And if you feel like the pressure is getting too much, don't hesitate to talk to people about it.
Yes.
Don't hesitate to talk to people about it. At one point in time, it will feel like but don't hesitate to talk to people about it. Someone you can reach out to, give them a call, send them a text, and just talk to people about your challenges. And yes, they would offer you solutions.
You can talk to Victor about your challenges.
They will offer you solutions. In case you need my number, just hit me up. So they
enter
offer
the comment section, you get his number.
It's going to work out well, and it's going to come out strong later. So keep your head up high and don't put your shoulders down. Don't feel overwhelmed, and just understand that things are going to work out fine.
Yes, thank you so much, our guest on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I know we won't see you in a while.
Yes, I don't even know. As I'm going now, I'm trying to calculate. Okay, will I be coming back after Christmas?
We will see you soon, don't worry.
Or will I come back after... I don't even know.
Next year, 2023.
Well, we're going to work something out, Jerry.
Yes, do not worry. Keep your head up, like you said.
Yep.
So to everyone watching, thank you so much for sticking with us till this time. It's been an amazing time on the show today, and I'm sure you had fun. We'll be saying our goodbyes now. Any parting shot from me would be stay amazing.
Stay amazing, yes.
Stay amazing. And don't get sad. Yes. When you are sad, like Victor said, you can always talk to someone about it. Bye. See you next Friday.
See you next Friday.
Bye.